Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL offseason, especially for the Philadelphia Eagles, you know we're witnessing something quite extraordinary. The Eagles, under the brilliant leadership of General Manager Howie Roseman, are really shaking things up. This isn't just your typical offseason where teams make a few signings or release a couple of players. No, what Philadelphia is doing right now is building a new identity, a new era focused on youth, speed, and versatility. And trust me, this is a strategy that could pay huge dividends down the line, especially as the team aims to keep its window open for a Super Bowl run. But let's break down exactly what's been happening and what it all means for the Eagles, and more importantly, for their fans. So first, let's talk about the big picture. This offseason, the Eagles have taken a very deliberate approach. They've been letting go of some key players from last season's squad, players who contributed significantly and who fans have come to love. Names like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and Darius Slay. These are guys who played vital roles in the team's success last year, but now they're wearing different jerseys or are no longer part of the Eagles' roster. This isn't just about losing talent. It's about making room for the next generation, about getting younger, faster, more flexible, and more adaptable to the evolving NFL landscape. And let's face it, in the NFL today, youth and athleticism are often the keys to sustained success. What's really interesting about the Eagles' approach is that all 12 of the new players they've signed this offseason are on one-year deals. That's right, these aren't long-term commitments. They're temporary, prove-it contracts designed to add depth, see who can step up, and evaluate talent on the fly. It's a calculated move that allows the Eagles to stay flexible, to potentially make more moves as the season progresses, and to keep their options open for mid-season trades or signings. The media, and honestly, most NFL insiders, believe that the Eagles are far from done. They're still actively exploring the trade market, still looking to make that surprise signing or pull off a blockbuster trade that could dramatically alter their outlook for the season. Now, one name that's been floating around as a potential target that might not be a household name, but could be a perfect fit is Julian Blackmon, the safety from the Indianapolis Colts. This is a player who, at just 26 years old, has already shown flashes of brilliance. According to Bleacher Report's Moe Moton, Blackmon ranks among the top 10 free agents under 30, and he's been linked to both the Eagles and the Carolina Panthers as ideal landing spots. Now, let's be clear, Blackmon isn't a perfect player. He's had some struggles, especially with consistency in pass coverage. Over his career, he's allowed a passer rating of over 103 in 4 of his 5 seasons, which is a bit concerning. But what makes him intriguing is his ball skills. Over the last 2 years, he's made 7 interceptions, and he's shown the ability to track the ball well, especially in open space. Blackmon was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2020 NFL Draft by the Colts and quickly became an instant starter. He's played in 66 games, starting 62 of them, and has accumulated impressive stats including over 300 tackles, 21 pass deflections, 13 tackles for loss, and 10 interceptions. He even has a pick 6 on his resume. You see, what makes him appealing for the Eagles is his versatility. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, known for his complex and flexible defensive schemes, would love a player like Blackmon, someone who can play both in deep coverage and closer to the line of scrimmage. Philadelphia is still trying to figure out who will be their starting safety alongside Reed Blankenship, with candidates like Sidney Brown, rookie second-round pick Andrew Mukuba, and Tristan McCollum vying for the spot. But adding a player like Blackmon could be a game-changer, bringing in a young player with starter experience who can help solidify that secondary. And let's not forget, the Eagles' secondary has been an area of focus in recent seasons. After losing Darius Slay, who's still a key figure in the locker room, and with some uncertainty around the safety position, making a move for someone like Blackmon could be a strategic play to boost the overall defensive performance. Plus, Blackmon's ability to play multiple roles means he can be used in various packages, giving defensive coordinator Vic Fangio even more options. It's this kind of flexibility that can make a defense elite, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC East. But of course, the question remains, will the Eagles pull the trigger? Will they bring in more competition for the safety position, or is Blackmon just a name floating around that might not materialize into a signing? Historically, Howie Roseman has been known for his shrewd moves, sometimes surprising, sometimes calculated. The fact that they're still exploring options suggests they're not done yet. There's speculation that more moves could come, perhaps even a trade that nobody's expecting, which could shake up the division and change the landscape of the NFL's NFC East overnight. Now, talking about the team's overall strategy, it's clear that this is a calculated rebuild, not just a patchwork attempt to stay competitive. The Eagles want to maintain their core while adding young, athletic players who can grow into the system. The season ahead looks promising, but it's also filled with questions. Will Jalen Hurts continue to develop into an elite quarterback? Will the offensive line hold up against some of the toughest defenses in the league? And on defense, can the secondary tighten up enough to make a real difference? These are the questions every Eagles fan is asking right now, and the answers will come as the offseason progresses and training camp begins. Jalen Hurts, of course, remains the centerpiece of this rebuild. After leading the Eagles to the NFC Championship game last season, expectations are sky high. Fans are eager to see if he can take the next step and become one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league. His rushing ability, combined with his improved passing, makes him a dual threat that defenses struggle to contain. The offensive weapons around him are solid, with A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert all providing explosive options. But the team also needs to ensure the offensive line stays healthy and cohesive. On defense, the front seven has been a strength, with players like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and the emerging Jordan Davis anchoring the line. The linebackers, led by Nakobe Dean and T.J. Edwards, have been solid, but the secondary remains a bit of a work in progress. That's why adding a versatile safety like Blackmon or someone similar could be the final piece of the puzzle. The Eagles' defensive philosophy under Vic Fangio is all about adaptability and heavy pressure, forcing turnovers, and limiting big plays. If they can get a reliable safety to complement Reed Blankenship and the young talent in the secondary, their defense could take a significant leap forward. Looking back at the recent history of the Eagles, you realize they've always been a team that's not afraid to make bold moves. From acquiring players like LaShawn McCoy, acquiring Carson Wentz in a blockbuster trade, to the recent Super Bowl victory in 2018, the franchise has built its identity on strategic, sometimes surprising, decisions. This offseason continues that tradition, with Roseman once again demonstrating why he's considered one of the best GMs in the league. His ability to identify undervalued talent and turn it into a championship-caliber roster is well documented. And with the team's window still open, the next few months are crucial. They could very well be the ones to pull off another Roseman special, an unexpected signing or trade that nobody saw coming, but that could elevate the Eagles to new heights. Of course, the NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Washington Commanders are all building their rosters, trying to knock the Eagles off their perch. Every move Philadelphia makes now is a response to these rivals, who aren't standing still either. The Cowboys have added some defensive pieces, the Giants are developing their young core, and Washington is trying to find stability at quarterback. It's a fierce division, and every game counts more than ever. That's why the Eagles' offseason moves are so critical. They're trying to stay ahead of the curve, to establish themselves as the team to beat once again. Now, let's talk about what fans can realistically expect from this team in the upcoming season. The goal is to contend for another Super Bowl, and with the talent they have, that's not just wishful thinking. The key will be how quickly these new players mesh with the existing core, and whether the coaching staff can continue to innovate and adapt. The addition of younger, versatile players like Blackmon could be the difference maker in tight games, especially as the season wears on and injuries start to pile up. It's all about depth, resilience, and maintaining that winning mentality that has become synonymous with the Eagles' culture. And don't forget, The NFC East is also about mental toughness. The rivalry games, especially against the Cowboys and Giants, carry extra weight. The Eagles know they can't afford any slip-ups if they want to secure the division title and get a favorable playoff position. The next few months will be crucial for establishing chemistry, testing new rotations, and figuring out who steps up when it matters most. The fans are hungry, the players are motivated, and the team's front office is working tirelessly behind the scenes. This is a season that could define the franchise for years to come. So, what's the outlook? Well, if the Eagles continue on this path of strategic youth infusion, smart signings, and possibly pulling off that surprise trade, they could very well be back in the Super Bowl conversation. The NFC is wide open, with some of the league's best teams also trying to figure out their identity, but Philadelphia's blend of experience and youthful energy makes them a formidable opponent. The defense, with some tweaks and the addition of a player like Blackmon, could become one of the league's top units. The offense remains potent, led by Hurts and his talented supporting cast, but consistency and health will be the key. In the end, what we're witnessing right now is a franchise that refuses to sit still. They're constantly evolving, always looking for that edge, that next big move. The offseason may be far from over, and fans should stay tuned because we might see some blockbuster news in the coming weeks. Whether it's a surprise signing, a trade that nobody predicted, or a player stepping up unexpectedly, the Philadelphia Eagles are clearly aiming high. Their sights are set on the ultimate prize, and with this new era of youth, versatility, and strategic moves, they're positioning themselves to be a team that no one wants to face in January. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this bold new direction? Do you think the team is better equipped for a Super Bowl run this year? Or are you concerned about the youth movement and the potential growing pains? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest news, analysis, and insider information about your favorite team. This season promises to be exciting, and the Eagles are right at the heart of it all, ready to make some noise once again. Thanks for watching, and go Birds!